paid out, they continue trading, get another paid out. So, but the paid out is never really coming. Hello traders, it's been a while since I last posted my YouTube videos. I've been busy starting up funded missions for a couple of months. And now we are back on. I decided to do this video in a more casual way compared to what I have posted back then. So it's currently around 12 p.m. I'm gonna be heading for my lunch. And later on, we're gonna discuss about the prop firms that are going down one by one, and also what I think about sustainabilities of prop firms in general. So we are back and I grabbed a coffee right here. So let's back on to the topic that we are discussing today about prop firms that are going down one by one. So recently, there's quite a few prop firms has been shutting down, and it was those prop firms was actually that were good back then. You know, I was getting paid out smoothly, right? I was liking the trading conditions. Everything was actually good back then, and out of suddens, when a few months of hardships, and there's a lot of issues about account migrations, and we can see it brings a couple of problems down in a very fast way. Just few months ago, True Forex actually just shut down, even though there have been in the industries almost the same years with my Forex funds. I remember when I start seeing True Forex funds, later on when I found out my Forex funds, it was just a few months later, and I see that, oh, we have another similar names called True Forex funds after my Forex funds. So at first, my impressions about the firm was back then, because the price was actually in euro, so I was thinking a little bit pricey, and I did not really try it out back then. But after that, when MyFF actually shut down my CFTC, so I look into True Forex funds on August of last year, which is 2023. Yeah, I think I started to try it out. I think I started to try it out True Forex funds last year, and actually the trading conditions were good. The payout was smooth as well, right? I was able to fund it with them. Unfortunately, I did not actually save up the certificate with True Forex funds, but I do have some Rise transactions, and back then, instead of Rise, I believe they used another paid out method, which is called Fcash, right? The only prop firms that I see using the paid out method of Fcash. So True Forex Fund back then actually have their own MT5 license, and their license got revoked by MQ. So after that, they came back, taking around more than a month, and they are back on with C traders. All right. So even when they are back on, the operations was actually still not that smooth in terms of processing paid out. We can still see, I personally still experience like a payout delays. So before they're completely gone, I actually still had 325k funded accounts. So why is 325k? Because I was funded 200k account and 100k account. That particular 100k account was actually scaled up 25% after a certain period of showing consistency with risk management. I was scaled up to 25%. Ended up, I was still in profit in the funded accounts, but I just not able to get the paid out, as again they have liquidity issues, stuff like etc. So that was all about True Forex Fund. And other than that, right, we have Funded Engineer. Funded Engineer also was, right, it was a good prop firms to me. The review were good back then, so they are paying out traders even during their downtime. about their license getting revoked, about their tag getting taken out. And the main part is they pay the traders that they're actually supposed not to pay, in terms of they found traders is carrying out prohibited trading activities, account management, and they have all the proof, but they still decide to pay the traders and only ban them. So this is one thing that I don't get it back then. So like, you have all the proof. If one of the traders is carrying out prohibited trading activities or breaching the term and conditions, um I don't agree that the traders should be paid, right? Because the funds can be used in a better way, in terms of you can be paying the real traders, or like the trader that actually deserve a payout without breaching any terms and condition, without using any prohibited trading activities. So I believe the funds at the end of the day, it should be used in the right way. So about funded engineer, I was actually funded 500k. Yes, it's a lot, and I was funded 500k for very long. I started funded like only 100k during my FF downtime, and slowly I see the firm was solid back then, so I basically scaled up my so I basically added more accounts in them, and I really tried to manage my risk and survive the funded account for that long. Also, I've been, I've been stuck when there's account migrations. We couldn't trade the funded account, and I've been stuck when there's liquidity issues. And the last paid out that I got from the prop firms is 7.5k, and that is actually a partial payout from what is the actual payout. So the actual payout, I couldn't recall. I had a sheet, a trading sheets, ROI sheets on prop firms that actually stating it, and actually there were still over 10k of paid out that is not basically processed, right? It's actually approved. The paid outs were approved, and it is just not processed, because I believe traders, a lot of funded traders with funded engineer during that time, that were actually quite basically frustrated, and because they've been trading the funded accounts, payout got approved, but the payout is not really processed, and then they continue trading, they get another payout, they continue trading, get another payout. So but the payout is never really coming to the wallets or the bank, so it kind of gets frustrated. I can understand that. At some point, the backlog, the paid out backlog was just super huge, and probably cannot cope. So regarding this, actually they tried to get investor, right? Funded engineer actually tried to get investor. So the investor is actually founders of one of the top firms right now. If you guys actually check out some of the story in Twitters, you guys will know what is the prop firm. So I think the deal was actually basically put a capital injections in funded engineers and take up some shares, so it can actually cover up the paid up. The owners or the founder did not really invest into funded engineer, because I believe it's very hard to revive the prop itself when it's struggling, and there's a lot of backlogs, all right? And especially if things doesn't go well, it will affect the reputations of both, like not just one. So at some point, as a trader myself, like I was chasing for, not to say chasing, I was trying to scale up my funding capital to 2 million, 3 million, with different prop firms, as much funded that I want to get. So now things just change in a couple of months about the transitions. I believe traders right now are not really looking into super high funding capital. So right, and there's not much props or evolution firms that you can look into on getting funded and in a big funded capital and stay funded for long. So now the reliable firms, the list of reliable firms is actually reducing in general. Agree or not, this is actually what happened. So in this case, let's say if anyone want to get funded over 1 million, the choice is maybe like less than, I would say less than 10. I mean, the prop firm choice is less than 6 or 7. Right? So instead of getting a high funding capital, I think right now is what shall we look at is more about looking into the prop firms that is reliable, right? Reliable in terms of is a sustainable prop in general. Now we talk about sustainabilities. Of course, I'm not, but of course I'm not the guy that have a lot of experience to tell you about prop firm sustainability, right? So I'm just a nobody, but it's just something that I see in basically the firms and what I experience in starting up funded missions and what is our long-term goal for sustainability. So we see some prop firms that actually also been started up, I would say 6 months ago, earlier of 2024. There's a lot of hype, like coming in when they start up the firms and they kind of overpromise, right? So they, like firms claiming they have 100 millions of backup capital by this hedge fund, and then some prop firms claiming that they're gonna be able every single trader, which is completely untrue. All right, I'll explain. Okay, let's talk about able everyone, which is completely untrue, because in the statistic in the funded account, all right, if you talk about the P&L, profit and losses, in the whole funded account statistic, right, in every single prop firms, the loss is still gonna be way more than the win, which means that the trader still gonna be losing the funded account in terms of the loss, in terms of the max drawdown or daily drawdown. It will be more than what they made in the prop firm profits in general. I'm talking about the whole funded statistics, right? Not just by one single trader. So for a prop firms to really able one trader, right, it really needs that trader to show consistency and proper risk management. So I think most of the prop firms use scaling plan as a way to actually identify if some of these traders are actually worth to able or not, or some of the traders are actually, they claim to be profitable, right? They claim to be profitable as a prop traders, but you see them getting banned by a lot of prop firms, right? You see them getting banned by this prop firm, and they will call out prop firm, oh, this prop firm is scam. But if you think about the win-win situations, all right, if you are really a profitable traders and the prop firm cannot a-book you, right? The prop firms basically there's something wrong with the approach, right? You might be they might be losing the funded accounts very often, right? Creating a P&L of the funded accounts which is L more than the P, right? Even though in terms of the registration fee versus the paid out, they're actually in the profit sides, but in general the P&L is still more on the L side. So this is the main thing that prop firm can't actually able everyone. Now back on talking about the new prop firms that just started up. Actually, I'm surprised that a lot of other influencers actually starting up their own prop firms. As you guys can see, we have Dan, yeah, starting up CK Capital, and Andrew starting up Fortuna Traders. We have Ishan starting up Karma Prop Traders. So even though in these crucial situations, I think a lot of prop firms going down and new prop firms coming out. It is kind of like opportunity and threat together. So it depends on how really the prop firms owners seeing that, and how are they managing the prop firms. For funded missions, you can see that we actually don't want to overpromise one thing, all right, and we actually want to grow in a slow way. So in terms of growing in a slow way is basically we just want to focus on organic growth, right? So something about funded missions, we focus a lot about organic growth, and we don't spend much money in so we don't spend much money in affiliates or advertisement, as we already have our base of followers throughout the years of providing some values to some of the traders. And also, of course, we have some of the supporters. Thank you for you guys on supporting Funded Mission. So it gives us the organic base, right? Instead of spending like monies on unwanted advertisements or SEO. So to be very honest, we don't want to over promise on Funded Missions. We are not backed by a broker, we are not backed by a hedge fund, all right, and we don't want to claim that we have like 100 millions of capital. So basically, since we started up as a small evolution firm, all right, as a talent management service, managing traders and connecting them to a potential funding capital, starting up as a small evolution firm. So after 2 months of operations, we kind of get into a flows, or into a system for our risk team, for our support team, for our finance team to pay, from the account reviews, all right, for the risk teams on reviewing the accounts, and to the process of our finance team to process a payout. So the system is there on Funded Missions already. Of course, there's something that we can refine and improve along the way, but I would say we already developed a routine or system in general, right, to process everything. Our flow is still comparative. Our flow in terms of firms, we are still a very tiny small firms compared to other firms with bigger operations. But this is also what we are looking into. Again, we want to start small. We want to start small and grow slowly along, because I see a lot of firms, that when they're starting up, or they try to grab a big market shares, and there's a lot of flows coming into the props. They might use like 50% discount, or they might use up a lot of money in advertising. All right, they might hire a lot of athletes, hire a lot of influencers to promote them, but ended up, they cannot keep up with the flow, right? And maybe the technology or the basically team is not mature enough to handle a big flow. So in terms of the traders experience is not that great. I mean, you experiencing account migrations, paid out delays, and lack of support. You basically, like it takes week for someone to reply your email. So something like that is we don't really wish to happens in any times on Fund Mission. So that's why we are happily starting up with as a small prop firms. So I think that's enough talking from me this side. Just a super casual video here. It's just like a chat and sharing out some of my thoughts about the props, and also sharing about the progress that we have here. And in terms of my trading journey, yeah, I'm not been talking a lot about my trading journey since since I'm became an employee of Fund Mission. So there will be less prop firms that I can trade with, mainly also because might not be welcome in some of the firm, but I'm actually still trading for the account. I'm still trading with some of the prop firms that are okay with me to continue trading as traders, or as a trading influencers, or as a funded trader, right? So I'm not giving up. I'm not basically stepping down as a trader. I still enjoy being a trader. So I would like to hear some of your thoughts in the comments about what you think about the props, and maybe some of the props that you are trading now. What's your experience, and do you experience any payout delays with any single firms that you are trading with? So you guys can feel free to share in the comment section.